Yes, Sam, are you okay?
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's us live now, pal.
Yeah, oh, that's good.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
crazy. Was the other video took down too?
Yeah, well, I got up this morning, getting ready for work, and quickly on my phone, there was an email from YouTube saying the video had been taken down for defamation. Now, I had to think whose names, because for defamation strike to work, the person's actually got to be named.
Yeah.
Now, I know the main subject of the live, the fake offer was called that or the other name,
Yes.
and the other person was a channel name, not an actual person's name.
Yeah.
There was one or two names in there that raised a lot of questions as to whether somebody got them to put in a defamation complaint. Either way, though, it doesn't stop me. I mean, these people don't realise, and I've told them before, my videos get struck, my channel gets taken down, I just rise and bring it back again. It goes straight back
Yeah.
up there. So, that video's still available, the one with defamation strike. Anybody with a VPN or outside the UK can access that video at the minute. It's still on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, they'll never stop us. They might try and whatever, but they're not going to stop us.
And am I
So,
right into saying that there's been comments left under that video by the people in question, the stalkers?
well, I've just been notified of one actually. So I went back in, had a look, and commented back. Told the person the truth, what I thought of them, and
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
they can,
that's like another company that we have been stalked from. So, and I
is
mean,
it?
it's been downloaded and sent to Middlesbrough CID. Just speaks for itself. I mean, what are Middlesbrough CID going to
Well,
do about me telling the
exactly.
truth?
Well, my answer to that was so fucking what, and you're a rat, and it's as simple as that. You know,
And
uh,
this is to Middlesbrough CID also. Is like I'm explaining what has happened and how incompetent I believe this case has been looked at for it to be closed.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think we should be pushing on the IPOC
yeah,
to ask them questions. Your case should have been looked at as the same as any other member of the public should be. Was looked at.
yeah.
Instead, you were ignored for days about that 999 call.
Yeah,
That show on. So I think they should be dragged over the coals.
yeah.
Your local police for that. So yeah.
And why are we trying to be silenced? Why are people
Uh,
making things to
well,
download it and send to
generally when that
Middlesbrough
happens, it's the
CID?
truth, isn't it?
I know.
Generally, when it's the truth that's being spoken, and they're trying to silence the truth, and that's the case again here. And it's the same people. I've had trouble with people like this in the past. There's a group of them, and they think, well, let's just say, they don't know that there's people on YouTube that are going to stand up against them. Put it that way. They
Yeah.
can stand up against them. So yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at the chat, just saying a
Oh
quick
yeah.
hello, and just
Are
see if
you
I can see a few people in.
are you Carol Curtis? Are you Humble Crumble? Are
Yeah,
you Millie? Are you Irish
Donna,
Bull?
Don
Donna?
as well, Bill. In fact, Bill there, he was getting modded up, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Let me just try and sort that. Oh shit,
Well,
I'm gonna have to.
it's insanity. I think that these people are coming over to a channel where I'm on. Surely, should they really be stalking me on other channels and stuff like that, and with threats of police and CID and stuff? Just
Yeah,
seems a
you're
bit
going to
odd, doesn't it?
find, you're going to get that. You're
Oh yeah, true. Can people still hear me? Oh yeah. Are you
sorry,
true?
I
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to mess about with some of the in the comment by mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we were saying, yeah, these certain people just trying to close us down, So yeah.
So
Um,
basically, we can come on to all of like what is stated another time. We can delve into the statistics of Cleveland Police and that, and it's there for all to see with in the papers
Yeah.
recently,
What I
and
might do,
also
but I might start putting that up on their lives actually, because it's good for people to, although they're hearing the audio, the visual is quite good sometimes as well.
yeah.
And it's taken in better. So the stats from Cleveland Police will be interesting, to say the least. I think.
I think it was in the paper, and it was on some kind of news thing last week. How much had failed again. It was only recently. It's been mentioned a few times in the media and a lot of places. So
Right.
us talking about Cleveland Police and its cases of incompetence and failure to the
Yeah.
public is in every news and newspaper stuff, and it's online for everybody to see.
Yeah.
But for him to say that he's taken the live to Middlesbrough CID, I'm thinking, well, hold on, you're harassing me now. You're following me
Yeah.
around still, and you like
And,
following me to different lives and threatening me with CID and stuff.
and
I haven't
Irish
been
Bill has just
silenced by
commented.
anybody.
Yeah, Irish Bill has just commented exactly that what you just said there.
Right?
If you look at the screen, I don't know if you can see it. I've thingied it up onto the screen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said the exact same thing.
Yeah, he's put
That is
on, well,
harassment.
I'm not on bail for anything. I'm not.
No,
I can speak what I want to speak about, especially
absolutely.
with stuff that concerns me, because I'm a member of the public and I phoned 999 twice one night and did not get a response off Cleveland Police.
Yeah,
Um, and that's what I spoke about. But I'm not
and then,
silenced. I never once spoke about anybody's names and things. What I did say was the fake offer, which I will repeat again.
yeah,
I mentioned certain people commenting underneath channels. I was then plastered all over YouTube by them people saying that I'd said unveiled threats underneath them, which
yeah.
is another lie because I didn't threaten anybody. I'm
No,
not in the
you
fit
didn't.
state to threaten anybody because of obviously the police's incompetence in
Yeah.
this case, and shutting it down has left me. But I'd say I've got post traumatic stress with going
Oh,
through
yeah,
the attacks to the house,
yeah,
and also a lot of other stuff. At no point have I been silent. So if I can't speak out about a case that has been closed where I rang the police, that's absolutely like crazy.
yeah. It's absolutely you're right. Anyway, to speak about that.
Yeah,
You're a free citizen of this country, therefore, you're entitled to free speech.
yeah,
Although some of us have got different views on free speech and what free
yeah.
speech is, I'm one of the ones that believe that it's been slowly taken away from us. But however, people like us around will continue to be heard. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Um,
Bulls just saying there. He's saying, yeah, yeah. I've just seen the comments there. What
right.
Bull's saying, and
Yeah.
it's. I just can't believe it because
No.
it it's like I don't know what's going on. I still don't know what's going on. So as I said on Saturday, after the police, I'll just give the people a quick rundown so it's on the channel
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
because
Please do.
people obviously it's been took away. So I'll try and do it as fast as I can. So I made two police 999 calls after the house was attacked for the third time with an explosive device. At no time did the police respond. Obviously, everyone knows Brian was arrested, um, and he's currently on bail. Then it happened again after many calls to the police complaints department, um, and it happened again, and it could have been more of a catastrophe to Brian and the dog if the neighbours hadn't acted as quick as they did in the fire brigade and stuff. So then the case was apparently reopened by CID due to the fire brigade's report, and they were going to look into it. Now, I believe people were arrested. They said there wasn't any evidence, and they told me that the case had been closed. But meanwhile, Brian is still on bail with his devices all seized. So
Hmm.
I just been told by the police that the case was closed, and that's the end of it basically. So
Yeah. It's
there
a
you
bit
go.
strange, isn't it? It's a bit
Yeah,
strange,
it's
and
very strange. But I'm going
yeah,
to push forward to these complaints because I want to know why the case is closed. I was looking
yeah,
through stuff last night, um, Redale and different things, and
right,
the things that join up. There was like one. Do you know on the one where you've seen it? True. Do you know where it says about I've already had 2 people threaten to burn the house down?
yeah, yeah,
Right. So that's on a statement from somebody. So that's been given over for me to use. Yeah.
yeah.
So that was sent to the police, but the police kept losing it. But it's amazing how I've still got copies of it and
It's
stuff.
funny that,
But
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But on the end of that guy's proof that he sent to me, the evidence off the fake author's account, he said, I've already got Dale. He said, I've been pretending to be from Milo Books, right? And then we've realised that this Lisa Grayson from Milo Books, a fake
Oh,
account that was actually trying to add us as well.
yeah,
It's saying, are you tied to any publishing company? So it's sick when you see how
yeah,
far this harassment and trolling of people is going.
exactly.
There you've got somebody admitting to getting people to phone our house to set fire to it 2 years ago. You've also got him giving Brian's number out and our address, asking for a fight. And then you're seeing him do it about other people saying, here, fishy, let's go fishing. Here, fishy wishy. I've got Dale's number and I've pretended to be from Milo Books today. And the abuse that I was looking at Dale's last night and it was absolutely sickening. And just again, failed investigation.
Yeah.
And Dale just thought, right, I can't even bother with it because it's not going anywhere. That was twice he tried.
So I mean,
Um,
hopefully in the weeks coming that maybe Dale can be provided, can be helped with that, and that he's got support, and that he can maybe get that checked out from the PLC as well.
yeah,
Um, a lot of these things go unnoticed, and the police get away with a lot of this stuff because the people don't know what their options are.
I
Um,
brought that. I did bring that evidence up to the police on Saturday when they said they'd had a certain person in, and
yeah,
I said, well, you can guarantee the screenshot of the contacts will be probably the whatever.
yeah,
And they said, oh, maybe that's too old. But I've looked into this and I've been speaking to 3 different barristers now. Our friend in America, David, there's one that John
yeah,
Wedgwood, of all people, put us in touch with about 2 years ago when it was all going on. But to get him to do any work, you'd have to pay a fortune because he was like a real I'll
yeah.
get his name. I think it was John Bullock or something like that, and he's a big barrister in London. And he said it came under section whatever of stalking. All
Hmm.
devices needed taken from the home and this, that, and the other, which obviously it was failed to do. So our friend who's a barrister, David, do you want me to read out how he advises that we should go about this complaint?
Yeah, yeah,
Just
but just
regarding the
quickly,
police.
just I
Yeah.
think I think the definition of stalking in this country, just briefly, by the way, is that if you ask a person twice, at least twice, to stop you and leave you alone, and then they continue to contact you either directly or indirectly afterwards, that's classed as stalking, and should therefore be investigated if you require it to be. But that's just quickly there. That's just off the top of my head. I might be
Yeah, I
wrong,
just sent this over
but
two
yeah.
seconds.
But if you want to read that out, Emma, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 minutes, I just find it. Send it over my other phone. 2 seconds. Right, 1 minute.
And Carol, you're right
Um,
there. Actually, what you just said there, Carol Curtis has just said it has to be treated as a priority now, according to new laws. That's getting rushed through Parliament now, that actually.
yeah.
And yeah, absolutely, 100% there.
Right, 2 seconds. Right, 2 seconds. Emma. Right, I just send it to my phone. Right, there we go. So, back to you two. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, can you hear me? Right, so this is how this is one of the barristers who was spoken to. This is what he said. Now he's aware of the case totally because he's helped us, even though he couldn't like act for us because he was in America. He's still trained in the UK at the Inner Temple, and he's working out at the UK in America at the moment. And he said he qualified out of the UK over 15 years ago. He did pulpage at 2 Bedford Road. I'm house with the Inner Temple. I've not had anything to do with criminal defence work for over 10 years. He used to be a criminal defence one.
Right.
And he said, I spend my days working transactions and business litigations. However, my good friend Brian Cockerill and his family have been going through some terrible harassment and terror attacks. I, for one, know that Emma has requested police assistance before over the prior years and has mentioned as much in Brian's civil action for an injunction against the fake author and publishing company. With Brian's recent arrest and in view of what's taken place over the years concerning the police inquiry, on behalf of Brian and his family, I query my opinion. I by no means wish to tread on toes. This is merely a suggestion for consideration. One, a judicial order requesting an impartial investigation for police corruption. Not only do I believe this is necessary, but crucial to Brian's narrative for his current defence regarding threats to kill. Police inaction on several occasions or stalled investigations for the same situation over the years is the cause of this situation. Brian would not have said what he did in the heat of the moment had an injunction been permitted or formal inquiry been conducted on many of the prior requests to do so. As I've said to
Yeah.
Brian, and the images of the police turning up at his house, walking past a smoking car and boarded up windows to arrest him for threats to kill is wholly disturbing. Similarly, an arson attack on a house in the same location on the same weekend saw the street being cornered off and forensics working the scene. Why could that not be afforded for Brian and his family? Still to this day, there's been failure to investigate or respond to 999 calls made by Emma Cockerill. Another reason I believe the order would be useful is for disclosure capacity by and all bylaws and training disciplinary actions and policies should be inspected to pin down the police failure or corruption. Similarly, exploitation order should be issued with the adverse jury instruction. The police inactivity is very a casual effect on Brian's heat of the moment threats. Therefore, the order is relevant to the current criminal case at bar. Public policy reasons aside, it is my concern that if this corruption, which is blatantly happening, does not become exposed, Brian and his family will be living like this indefinitely. The taxpayer is vicariously liable for running a corrupt police outfit, and the police are grossly failing in their duty and diligently protect and serve the community impartially when a crime has been committed. Finally, with respect to duty, I have made a passing the suggestion to Brian that a prima facie case for Brian, Emma, and Bobby individually exists for negligence and statutory negligence against the same police force, and that a civil case should be looked at with considerable seriousness. The police failure of duty has left them with physical, mental, and property damage. So that's one
Yeah.
barrister who's like giving us. Do you know
And
what I mean?
that's a top barrister that's told you that's wrote all this
Yeah,
for you, innit?
yeah,
So yeah, and he certainly seems to be talking sense there. I would send that. I would send that to the IPOC straight
yeah,
away,
yeah,
and see what they say about that.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
because
also said he also was part like he's like sort of a our guidance in the other stuff going on that he's been aware of for all these years. He was aware of all the civil case and stuff as well,
yeah,
and he couldn't actually believe that that one policeman from a country police station went to the said house and uh, was basically allowed to just hand over what was his, and that not all devices were taken out of the house.
yeah, I
When
know.
I questioned this with the policeman who rang up to say that they'd had the said person in custody a couple of years ago, it was when a few of us had tried to countercharge that time. He said, "Oh well, for us to go back in now after we've executed this arrest warrant, right?" He said that would mean us taking him to court to go and search the house for the things, and then by that time the things could be gone. But I since found out that that's a load of garbage because when I got in touch with Paladin, the anti-stalking place,
Yeah,
who help people who are being stalked and stuff like that. See, this is logged down and logged down all over the place as well. I'd say I've logged I don't know how many. The fireman, when he came in, he on the Saturday when Brian was arrested, said, "Oh, you only came to fit your letterbox,
Letterboxing, yeah.
safety letterbox, about 2 years ago." He said, "Is it still the same carry on?" And I said, "Yeah." So it's like crazy, isn't it?
I know.
So
Um, yeah, it's but like someone said earlier, it's going to keep continuing this, until there's some sort of an end to it in the courts or whatever. This is going to continue. Um, and you and Brian deserve the answers that you want as well. But however, it seems that certain people think they can have it their way and only their way. And whatever
it's
they
that
up to, Brian.
crazy. Sorry for interrupting you. I don't know whether I'm on a delay if I'm being interruptive. But you know what I'm like when I get something in my head, I have to
No,
spit it out and forget again.
no,
So,
100%. Speak out as much as you can because people need
but
to
it
know the
feels
truth.
like I know this might sound crazy, right? So I know, like, of course, all the fake accounts aren't that person, right?
Mhm.
I do believe it's drove Brian absolutely crazy, and God knows where his head has been, because the things that I do know is when somebody's torturing you for that length of time, you get to know how they write through. So
Yeah,
whatever account they're under, I can look at, say, 10 accounts, and I can say, right, that one's him, or that's not
yeah,
him, or that is her, that's not her. And
yeah,
because it's been going on for that length of time, um,
yeah. You come to know the style of writing, don't you?
yeah, it's absolute insanity. But
Yeah,
obviously, the police don't cover all fake accounts and stuff, but the direct stuff that we had, direct off people's unique message ID codes off Facebook and stuff, where the house is admitting to be getting burnt down and different stuff like that,
yeah,
that still wasn't investigated. So whether you had real stuff or not real stuff under their real names or not real names, but I will definitely be put in, because I've stored everything, all the false ones that I know of them, this, that, and the other, and this will be getting made public either way,
yeah.
because I will. It's been like something out of a horror movie, and I will be
Yeah.
getting this all together because it needs showing what actually goes on. I
And
mean,
it's been
be
going on
one,
for quite some time though, isn't it?
yeah, years,
Yeah,
and for
yeah,
different people. It's like I met Carol, who's become like one of my best friends, and we only met because Carol's name's obviously different to Duffy,
yeah.
and I shared the post of Lee Duffy
Mhm.
begging the said person not to go ahead with book publications and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
telling him exactly what he thought of him. And at no time did he give permission or anything like that. He still went ahead over, didn't give a
yeah.
care for the family
He,
or anything.
he
But I,
basically put two fingers up and went ahead, didn't
yeah, yeah,
he? Yeah,
and I shared that post, and then when Carol commented, I said, "Who are you?" And she said, "Oh, I'm Lee's, the mother of Lee's kids." And I went, "Bloody hell!" And then when we got talking to each other, it was like she had thought she was going crazy for all that time, like
yeah,
getting stalked off different accounts, like pretending to be Terry Dixon and lots
yeah,
of other stuff, right? And the stuff she went through all them years on her own, right? And then when we got talking, she said, "I just feel like I'm not going crazy now. For all this time, I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I'm going crazy when I've
nah.
tried to explain it to people.
But
But
like,
it's only with the likes of you and
yeah,
Maria who actually believed what was going on and have seen it all. And you
yeah,
don't actually believe to what extent it goes on to
yeah,
until you actually see the proof. And that's what I was trying to say to these other podcasters who accuse me of unveiled threats. If
yeah.
you're going to have an opinion, please have a look at the other side
Have a look at
first,
the facts. Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
before you make a comment like that, because it's people's lives are getting put in danger and stuff now,
Nah,
and it's going like seriously out of control.
yeah,
But you and Maria have obviously seen lots, and obviously come across lots yourselves. But it's like it, and obviously Irish Bull's been absolutely amazing. He's been like
yeah,
want to
yeah.
help
You still
help
on
us.
channel?
Humble Crumble, another one, and all the ones, like even when Dale came forward tried to help us, even like boxers in London, Ben Doherty and stuff who said
Well,
it
it's
was
like Whoopi Willows just commented there saying, as long as you stay strong, Emma, you probably felt you were losing it. Totally understandable. You've got a great support system, and that person's right. You've got a great support system,
yeah.
but sometimes you won't. It won't feel that way to you because it's so much is going on in your head, and
Yeah. Well,
you
what's
just don't know.
worrying is I was threatened on the phone when Brian was in hospital that people were going to burn my house down, right?
Mhm.
And that was over 2 years ago, right? And then nothing was done by the police when I tried to report this. And then other people had put statements in as well, and nothing was done,
Yeah,
right? And it's took to this now that then these threats have become apparent. So in my eyes, it's like the police have failed me massively, I believe.
yeah.
Right,
I
as a
still
person.
think. I still think that person, the main, the other part in this, I still think his connection in writing that book for that certain person, high-ranking police officer now retired, I still think that's got part of, to play in this. That's my opinion on it. And from what I've seen and heard until now, that's still my opinion.
Yeah, I've been
And
speaking to somebody today whose brother, who he didn't have no clue neither. They were from a criminal family, and his brother turned out to be working for the police. And he said he came across all the paperwork, and obviously he doesn't speak to him now. And things they had a big massive fallout and stuff, but he was receiving like a wage off the police every month, right? And I've just been told the story today, and he said this case is reminding him so much of the things that were going on in with his brother. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? And it's like, how does a high ranking police officer, and I'll say it again, right? They're not stupid. They're looking at the company that is going to write the book. The company's not in company's house. There's loads of stuff all over the internet with people having civil cases to try and get monies or royalties, whatever they are, from books and stuff. There's and it's been well public, all the civil cases as well, even
yeah.
for Marty Turner and people like that, and Terry, Brian. And so surely that high ranking officer is not stupid, he's quite an intelligent man. He must be able to check that what book company he's going to. You'd think like whatever author, let's think of someone
You think so, wouldn't you? You
like your
think,
proper author.
yeah, a proper
Obviously,
publishing
like
company as well.
it's like insanity.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
but
understand
then
for what
again,
reason.
you don't know what this guy's been promised as well. If you let me write your book, I could get you this, that, and then I know that this fake author's friend used a tactic on other people promising Netflix shows and stuff. So certain idiots fell for it, others didn't. But
Yeah,
it remains the same. He could well have said, you don't know
yeah,
what this guy has been promised to,
yeah,
because if that was me, I would do some due diligence on the publishing company, the author, and so forth, like you've just said. And yeah, you're right. They're not stupid people. Well, to be high
yeah,
ranking, you wouldn't think they'd be stupid,
hmm
but that remains
yeah,
to be that remains to be
yeah.
seen on it.
And it's
Um,
just I can't believe the likes of these like I mean I'll admit to people the little bits that you've heard from the trolling group on Facebook that I was
oh
going
yeah,
through. I
yeah,
did add Bull and Maria and yourself were there, True.
yeah. I
Some of
seen
the
it earlier.
stuff that Bull was in there for 2 minutes, or if that, and then the next thing there's pictures of his father's grave with Jimmy Savile
Yeah, dirty
holding the grave,
bastard.
and like as if he'd had a wee on his dad's grave and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Right?
yeah.
It's absolutely like serious. This is like getting out of control. They're like professional trolls, if you like.
Well, yeah, I think professional trolls have been involved for a lot longer than we think.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Hmm.
Um, professional trolls, is a thing. A lot of people don't know what they're, but they come under as social media managers.
Yeah,
And what happens is a lot of companies employ them. The freelance basically. and they would just get hit with certain jobs from the company,
Yeah.
and then they'll just throw the life out of that particular channel or people. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
you're right, absolutely
Yeah,
right.
I do honestly believe there's a group of them ones that are the professional trolls. Obviously, they're getting the information from the ones that we're
Yeah,
talking about. Because obviously, the things in there, I've never seen you lose your temper. True, you're level minded, you're calm, and this, that, and the other. You were in
yeah,
that group for a while, you never said a word. And then obviously they started threatening to
yeah,
do stuff to me, which was despicable.
absolutely.
And and like you, that's the only time I've seen you comment like where you'd lost your temper,
Yeah,
because it was
yeah,
like really, really bad.
yeah.
Um it's like sick. I've never known stuff
Uh,
like it. Honestly, I haven't in that group.
But it's a group of three or four of them that are sick, and that they're all on of the same level, and the sick mindedness. Like it's depravity, and it's nonsense in my view as well. Some of the
Yeah, well,
stuff,
it was, wasn't it? It was like
yeah,
accusing. I mean, when you were getting girls jumping in and saying, "Oh, we're going to bring up, oh, Terry Dixon touched me, or Brian Cockerill touched me," and
yeah,
we're gonna say to the police historic sex crimes, and the other ones were coming in and saying,
yeah,
"Oh, yeah." When we collaborate two statements together for historic sex crimes, the police take it serious and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
like sick in the head stuff. Do you know what I mean? And then
But then you've
obviously,
got to ask yourself. I mean, any normal, reasonable thinking person would say that, right? This we've got to say this as a joke, or as jokingly, because we can't be serious in this, because they'll just screenshot this and take us to the police.
Mhm.
Therefore, you know what I mean? It's not like I wouldn't go on the internet and say that with the sole intention, the real intention of doing it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, it's because
yeah.
I know that the person who I'm talking about or threatening is going to screenshot it, that sort of thing. And it's just a different level of sick.
Well, when I went to the police complaints, I made them aware. So the woman in charge
Right?
of the police complaints,
Yeah,
I made them aware of that group. And the thing she pointed out was when we went back on the dates, there was, because they'd already said they'd started the group as paving stones and that's what happened to the
yeah,
windows. But that was on social media, so it could have come from anywhere. But when you're getting people threatening that something's going to go bang
yeah,
this weekend on the Friday, and then they're posting things off like someone lighting a fireworks stuff,
yeah,
and then all the porn stuff in there, the things about shoot me head off, and then, oh well, we'll have a vote. Who should we go for next, Emma or the dog? Well, we'll go for Emma. She'll be
yeah.
on a life support machine in Ward 19,
That's right.
and then we'll just BUM the dog. Oh no, we won't. We'll behead the dog, and we'll BUM Brian on a live because he might BUCK back and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like sick in the head stuff.
yeah, yeah. It is.
It's
Um, and
mental.
and and that's the trouble is there's three or four of them. At any one time that's doing it in it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, but I mean, that's I'm going to say it again. It's part and parcel of the people you're up against. That's the levels of think to
Mm-hmm.
get at you.
There's a
But
man called Del Lovell on Facebook, and he put a lovely post up, no supporting me and Brian with what we're going through. He runs like a gangster thing group, and
yeah,
Carol obviously knows him really well. He's been there for Carol with the Lee things that have gone on in there when
oh
she was
good,
sneak trolled.
yeah,
And he put a thing up. And what struck me was as soon as Carol commented, I didn't even know it was up there. Carol had commented because she's like a member of the group, and she said, "Oh, she sent me the link." And when I went on, the said people who we're talking about,
yeah,
their said company, the publisher, had said Brian's a sausage, this, that, and the other, and had started replying to Carol. But at that, all the members out of that group came in. I actually posted the members of the group and the trolley, some of the bad trolling stuff to Dell, and it
hmm
was the same people that were loving the people who were involved with
right,
these people's comments. So this is how I know it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
I do believe that there is professional trolling group at work with
Yeah.
this, and I believe that um,
And you know,
them two are part of it.
the thing is as well, right? A lot of people think, and they're right in this, that the police won't, if they come in under fake accounts and stuff, the police aren't going to bother trying to find them because it's just like a needle in a haystack. And
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, when the police contact companies like Facebook or Google or whatever,
Mhm.
and request information, that it's hard. It's like I was trying to get it. But when serious crimes are being threatened or are happening or whatever,
yeah,
then they don't stop. They seem to get it quicker,
yeah.
and so that's what these people are failing to understand. If they think they're safe because they're on a fake account, then I'm sorry to say, but they're the fucking idiots.
And really, what I could do is because obviously it's been prior mentioned to the police complaints after the first explosion. While the police were here, well, the CID for the second explosion, um, this group and its name kept popping up when the CID were trying to look at the footage of the second attack off my phone, because that's where it's like it isn't on a box. It's linked to my phone, and it was linked to Brian's phone, but obviously the police have took his phone and stuff.
uh,
So it was on my phone. So when we were going to the event for them to get the clip, right? Obviously they had to use my phone. Now, message after message was being deleted by the person that I believe to be somebody else.
right.
But we'd already got all the messages anyway. But I handed it to. She said, "What is this? Someone smasher and all that." And I said, "Oh, it's been made aware of in the complaint." She had a look through it and she said, "I've never come across anything like it in my life." But obviously, she didn't say, "Oh, we're going to go and investigate it." Because I said, "Why don't you add one of your team to that group then?" Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Add one of your team to that group.
simple
It's
enough.
live. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? But
yeah.
obviously, it's like they don't do stuff like that. But I just feel that a lot of is failure. I've got no faith in ringing
No, you've lost all
999. That's
faith in
why
the police, innit? Yeah,
yeah, I've got no faith in it, because the times that we have, well, I have tried to ring and log complaints, and I went into the police station last week with Bobby, didn't I? Yeah. And said, "Look, I've had no response, so I've actually come down here." And the woman at the desk said, "Is this still the same thing
yeah,
where
yeah.
Brian and you had to come in, and Brian had just got out of hospital? He had no socks or shoes on. He couldn't hardly walk, and we had to go into the police station
Yeah, I remember.
voluntary to answer charges of malicious communication.
Right.
When Brian had just got out of hospital, or they would have to come for us. So we obviously chose to go down there,
That's
and
right. You
straight
hadn't even
away,
been home yet, had you, that day?
yeah,
Yeah,
and straight
yeah,
away, I'd just printed out a couple of things like this Sam Rambler stuff. I'd
yeah,
printed out a couple of his statements and stuff, the ones that the last investigation had lost. And when he said, I said, "What are we actually in here for then?" He said, "Well, to be truthful, I don't even know why you're here, because there's nothing direct to you.
yeah,
What they'd used was a post I'd put up. And then because people were talking underneath, they tried to get that as malicious, but it wasn't anything direct from us." So I said, "Right, now I've looked at that, will you just have a look at this?" And when I showed him the couple of things from Simon's, he said, "You need to be going out of here and phoning 101 and reporting this." And I said, "It's already been reported and it's already gone over to North
yeah.
Yorkshire, and they've decided not to do anything about it." So it's like, what do you do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
And
it's
that's the
always
thing.
like trying to insinuate Brian's the police informer.
Right,
No,
right.
he's not.
Yeah, and it's different police forces as well. That's your problem as well, because they keep passing the buck to each other.
Yeah,
And then they decide not to take it further, and you're fighting against fighting a brick wall at times, because it's different police forces. I mean, in Scotland and Northern Ireland, the
yeah,
police forces have been amalgamated, and it's sort of
yeah,
centralised to the one headquarters now. But
yeah.
yeah, see, in England it's
I'm
bad.
And people say also, Brian, you get a lot of people making videos and saying, oh, Brian's like obsessed, this, that, and the other. But these people haven't seen what's actually gone
No,
on for the last 3
I
years,
know.
right?
I
They
know.
don't know the background of it, and they
Yeah.
don't know what's getting received on a daily basis. And talking about Brian's dead brother and stuff like that, just absolutely sick in the head stuff. And then they wonder
Hopefully,
why Brian has a little rant on YouTube.
well, hopefully these
And
live will educate people
I
on
know,
what, you know, what's going on. So this is the, you know, this is what the sole point of this as well, to educate people who don't know what's going on.
yeah,
You know, so yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
You know,
Honestly,
people.
I'm shocked. When you think of that girl, that Caroline Flack, when I read about Caroline Flack, I thought, how how can anything be that bad? Because you don't realise until you go through it.
Yeah, I
And then
know.
I can remember these people putting a post up about how sorry they were about that lady that had passed away through tolling. And that was on one of their pages, and we were getting like prolific trolled and trolled
Yeah,
and trolled, right? To the point where Brian was took off access from his own Facebook page, and
yeah,
messages were getting sent to people that, oh, we're going to come round to your house. This was to Lee Duffy's best friend, Dave, being his
right.
being Lee's friend for years, right? And it said, oh, I've seen that you, because he knew that he was on my friends list. He said, I'm going to tell Brian that you're trying to get his woman, and me and Brian are going to come round there and light you up tonight, and you're going to go viral. So this Dave, who I've known for years, and he was a lovely, lovely lad, had obviously got in touch with me, and these messages were sent as if from Brian, right? So
Mhm.
he's got in touch with me and said, Brian's not going to come round see because I've got my grandkids and all that. And I'm thinking, this is
Yeah,
like sinister, this. It's like, and no matter what we tried to do, we could not, even though it was Brian's picture all over there and it was about Brian, Facebook refused to give us access to it and just allowed it, because what they'd done is, when the fallout had happened, they took over, blocked us, and because we were that used to doing it. I mean, Carol got trolled off Terry Dixon's page. Terry Dixon couldn't even switch a computer on,
I know. I've spoken
right?
to Terry, and
Do you know what I
he's
mean?
not very. Yeah, he doesn't deal with all this, does he? He
No,
does.
he
He's
hasn't got a
not.
clue.
No.
And
How is
for
he
all them
anyway?
years,
After
Carol thought it was Terry.
how is he after his husband got put in the other day? Remember? I've not.
Um,
Have you heard
he's
from
frustrated because he's had other cases that have gone on. For
him?
his own child that was left for dead with Cleveland Police and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
obviously he's just totally disappointed in
yeah.
it all. But to think that this has been taken as lightly as it has, it's crazy. At no point did anybody put whoever was arrested into it. It'd come off police's own intelligence, but
Uh,
then straight away, glad you haven't listened to the BS, which is what he says about Brian, so everybody knows that. Oh, I've got no, if the police don't want to know me no more, I've got no interest, Clean Police got no interest in me. But making out Brian's had him arrested, no, Brian's the one with the actual bail, on bail conditions. He's not allowed to enter places, not allowed to do this, not, and he's got all of his devices seized. So hold on a minute. Who's the police informer? Brian didn't even speak to the CID. It's me that spoke to CID.
yeah,
CID acted on intelligence and obviously arrested certain people. But why even when there was 8 or 9 of us who put statements in, including the Lee's friend who I've just mentioned, Terry, um, because it was counter charge, because the police had come here looking for Brian and Terry, right?
aye,
So why nothing happened then. What I seemed to notice was it was Brian's name out of the 9 people, and Carol said this many times on her post. Hold on a minute. If you're going to make Brian out to be putting police statements in, why aren't you mentioning the 9 before him? You know
exactly.
what I mean? But it's always like Brian's this and Brian's that. And I do actually think these people are obsessed.
Yeah,
And I don't know what lengths they're willing to go to
I know.
on
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's, you know, how far are they going to go as well? Do you know what I mean? That, you know, that's another question you've got to ask yourself, because if they've been willing and able to go this far, you
I
know,
know. I know.
it's just going to make you wonder, and ask yourself, how far will they really go?
I know.
Because these people are unwell, seriously unwell and need help.
I know.
Um,
But
I hope.
you think of the other people prior to this, so prior to us being told, Carol had it. So why do people just say, "Oh, all of a sudden, he's only Brian and Emma that are saying that he's this, that, and the other." What about Carol's stuff she went through and her family prior to this? So he was a troll then.
Yeah,
What about the other people I've mentioned? That was many years
yeah.
before this.
And
So
they're all welcome to come on, at some point if ever they wanted to, and discuss it and get it out there, because that all that stuff's hidden and people don't realise what exactly what they've been made to suffer as well.
I know.
And in my opinion, it should be out there for people to know.
And what I will say about Bull as well, when he's had me on, I believe that he suffered trolling through me going on his channel a lot, right?
Yeah,
But obviously he's not bothered. He's like loyal like that. But you, as soon as I've done this
yeah,
video with you,
yeah,
one of the known trolls had put it under a certain person that has a channel and was posting stuff, I think, who I mentioned on the last one, right?
yeah, yeah.
That one of the known trolls was under something that was posted on that channel, saying, "Oh, you need to check TrueMedia 2.0 out because Emma Cockerill's on there, blah blah blah." So then the next thing, your channel's hit with defamations, and then I'm on certain channel last night, and people were trying to convince people in
Yeah.
the chat that you were a coffee man, this, that, and the other. I
I
think it was
know, but
absolute insanity. So what they're trying to do is obviously drag you into it to make out you're some kind of not a person that's not credible
well,
as well. Do you know what I
they're
mean? So
not
if you
they're
go
not
around
the
with
first.
fake voices,
Yeah, I mean, I know. I think I heard that today, but they're not the first to try and accuse me of being other channels. There's another couple as well who I'm not even going to go and name, but I think we'll know I'm talking about. But they have relentlessly been calling me other channels for months now. I was off YouTube for a while when I lost the TrueMedia channel and one of the Heggy videos on. He, the I was being accused of being Dartbot Secrets, was accused of being this and that one, and it just kept going and going. Now, I never had time to run, basically, never had any time to run the old True Media channel after work, never mind be different channels and try and run fake channels. It's just not me. I don't
you've
need to run a
always
fake
been
channel.
you. You've always
Yeah,
I've known you
yeah,
from the start of it all going
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
for getting on 3 years, isn't it, or more now? That we've
Well,
known each other,
at least, yeah.
and you've been
Um,
sat in here, and I've had messages,
yeah,
and you've been talking to Brian, and I've had messages saying that
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
certain channels just uploaded a video. Do you know who's behind that channel? It's TrueMedia, and I'm thinking, are you right in the head or what? You sat in here, neither us.
I was sat beside you in that. Yeah, that's right. Chatting to that. Yeah, I know. It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what these people are trying to achieve by bringing me into it and saying I'm this channel, that channel. I'm True Media, and if I've got anything to say, I'll say it through True Media channel and nothing else. It's as simple as that. And then if my channel goes down, another one will pop back up. It's as simple as that as well.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, it's
try if you will.
crazy.
But
People have tried to convince me on live things about you. Listen,
well,
there's no skeletons in our closets that we don't know about each other, right?
exactly,
So
exactly.
nothing can be said that could even shock me, or any
Yeah,
lies that said could be like fucking said. Oops, I shouldn't swear. Sorry, but could be said about you, like people try to spread, and that I know is not true because
yeah,
I know you, right? I know everything about you, and that's that, right? So people that are trying to insinuate you're using voice changes and you're under like things like Kaufman, this, that, and the other, and
yeah.
then trying to say you're under um, them dark ones or whatever they're called. We all know what we're talking about, don't we? Them channels
Aye.
that are trolling us at the moment. So
Yeah.
it's like they'll try and put it into your head that you're part of that. And I'm thinking, are you right in the head? He's got a job. Like he works all the hours God sends.
Yeah.
He I've been trying to get you to get your channel back up and running for
60
ages,
hours a
but you
week I
didn't
do
have
it,
time.
yeah. Yeah.
And you've got a family, you've got this, that, and the other. So
Yeah.
what? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I know.
what the hell are they playing at?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that makes me think about the people that are trying to convince people that other people are other people. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's somebody, a certain person tried to destroy my credibility because I don't think he had any of his own, and that's why he tried so hard, you know. But yeah, and I remember people try to convince you as well, you and Brian, and for so long, and try to convince you so many times. But you know, like you say, we've known each other for a long, long time now.
Yeah.
And yeah, you knew, but you knew the score,
Yeah,
so
I know.
you know, and
And
I'm
even
grateful
if I've
for that.
wanted you to put anything out there, in the past,
Yeah,
one thing with you, you'll always ask for like proof, so you
yeah,
won't work with anything that's not proved,
that,
right?
yeah,
And I
yeah,
remember something not so long back that you were aware of,
mhm,
and that was put out there, and you made a stand and did a
yeah,
video, stating putting it right, sort of thing,
yeah,
because you
and
you
that
won't have
video,
shit talked. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
that was going against what we were trying to achieve at the time, if you remember.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but the intention I had, the reasons I had for that video was just to show that person's supporters that there were still some truthful people on this side of the fence, if you get what I mean.
yeah, yeah.
So when it come out that, because it would have done, people would have called bullshit on that within 5 minutes. That
Bring me
would have,
there.
it would have thrown the whole lot into question, and I wasn't able to let that happen, and that was the reasons for that. I'm not sure if I told the person who uploaded that video at the time
Hmm.
why I did, but if you're listening now or hears it, then there's the reasons there.
Hmm.
Um, you know, we had to maintain some sort of integrity within the
Yeah,
the campaign, if you will.
yeah.
Um, you know,
And
against
you've
this
never
person.
called any of those people that have actually tried to call you. Do you know what I mean? You've never
No,
once called these people.
no.
You've never once tittle tattled, and
Yeah, I'm not
even when
interested in
people
it.
have been trying to convince people of different things, it's like you've never had a bad word to say about anybody, because you'll work with facts and you work with facts only, and you you've got your family, you've got your work, you just do what you do, and you
Yeah.
don't involve yourself in hurting anybody. And you talk one thing you're totally against is other people getting hurt by
Well,
these type of people who are trolling people to the extent
that's the
of
thing. And I
it's
know there's going to be people asking, well, if he works so hard and he's got so much to do and this and that, why is he back on YouTube?
because
And
I've made you come back on
and I,
YouTube, because you're the only
well,
one that can get the
yeah,
truth out there.
and I see the injustice that you and Brian's got to put with. Therefore, I've come on to put my little bit in, and hopefully, you know, it helps. So that's the
Because
reasons.
me and Bull go and get me and Bull got me and Bull start on his channel, but we end up just shouting at people, and then having
I
mass
know. I wish I had
arguments.
more time to
He's
come on and listen to some of Bill's
he's
lives.
brilliant to have you back.
I bet
He's a
they're good lives.
1,000,000% loyal Bull,
You
and
laugh. Yeah,
he'll bollock anybody. Do you know what I mean? That tries
yeah,
to say anything about me and Brian and stuff, and he's always been like that, and he's
yeah,
100% loyal. But we can't remain as calm as you and do things as calm as you and an interview. We just
yeah,
end up going crackers. So
yeah.
yeah, but
Well, it's like you said when I go, I just work with like the facts, and if yeah, I'll generally only say stuff online if I've got the actual visual facts as well. So like official documents I can show, or
yeah,
the screenshots or whatever,
yeah,
and that's the only time I'll talk about stuff. But
yeah. It's
yeah, I
like
think
you
it's
came to see me the other week, didn't you?
yeah, a couple of
And
weeks ago,
then
2 weeks ago now.
yeah, and what state was I in? I was in the kitchen. I was trying to
Nah,
cook one night,
no, I,
and my head was that gone, and
yeah,
I didn't know what I was doing with cooking. You were having to do the cooking
yeah,
work, yeah, and I
yeah.
just couldn't think, and it was like I'd had like some kind of breakdown, wasn't it? And
You're
like,
you're on your way there, absolutely there,
no,
definitely.
definitely, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I don't know if you remember me, but you promised you were going to get to the doctors about it as well, but I don't
I
think
know.
you have done, have you?
I'm going to try and
Um,
get there this week.
just ring up and even a phone appointment to begin with, let them know
Yeah,
what's happened, and then they'll decide that, if you need to go in and whatever. Just
yeah,
just get the ball rolling with it because
yeah.
you need it. from what I've seen, you need it anyway. So,
But it's
yeah,
crazy, in it. So
I know.
I hope this video
Stays up.
stays up, and I hope the video enlightens some people.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we will be doing more lives over the coming days, because I do believe that now we should start getting all this. We should start getting some of the truth out, and like you said, getting people on, getting these screenshots out there.
Yeah, but we can do. That's not a problem, you know. But we can get that going. I know the screenshots you mean and stuff. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Get the truth. Yeah.
I know. You had Terry on your other one as well, didn't you? And I mean, he'll come
Yeah,
on
I think
again.
we'll get Terry on again, definitely. I like Terry.
Yeah.
One of the bit, he's an absolute gentleman of a guy. Absolutely sound. But yeah, I mean, obviously, hopefully, get other people on who have been on, at the wrong end of this trolling campaign by the same people and stuff. And just
one thing, can I get another thing out? Another thing, like, so people are picking up on like different things, like, oh, Brian said this, but then he said that. Right. At the end of the day, for 3 years, he's been prolifically trolled. Right.
Aye.
To the point of where Brian doesn't know how to deal with trolls, because he's never had to deal with them, because nobody ever would have done the hiding behind things. I mean, he might have done things under McIntyre, but he didn't even look at that. Do you know what I mean? That's just part and parcel of anyone who goes onto a platform. But he obviously has got his own phone with the YouTube, and so he was seeing things. So I was having to block words. He also went through 2 major spinal surgeries where he was left paralysed. The pain he was going through was, obviously, he was on all kinds of painkillers. He was having to be on Oromorph for the pain, because all of his neck vertebrae were done and stuff like that. And then you sat in the other to your home. So at the end of the day, these people don't know the run up and what's been going on behind. And if anybody wants to know, they're quite welcome to have a look at what we've got in the Google Drive regarding certain people.
Yeah,
but it just seems like it's.
How can we give people access to that Google Drive then? How are people? I know the person who made the drive is in the chat somewhere. If she could put up how people can access that, then that would be belting, because there's a lot in there. Definitely learn a lot in there. That would help. So we'll maybe go with that.
Yeah, go up and see Bobby and just say I'm on a True live with True. What do you want? Because he was ringing me. But yes, so they need to know what's going on, don't they? It's like I don't know. They're just seeing like the likes of these mad channels, and I mean, to spend their life the way they do, trolling people and making life misery for people, is, I just think, well, what type of lives have they got? They're absolutely.
I know. And it's funny, right? Because I've seen a video once of this certain person, and he showed in the video, he showed his laptop. He goes, "This is what I do all day. I've not got time for trolling this and that." But that's exactly what you do. You sit there trolling, getting paid for it. That is your work. That was my opinion at the time. When I seen that, these people say, "Oh, well, we've got work to do," and this and that. Well, your work is patrolling people and getting paid for it. That's what I think. It's far too much of it going on at the same time and whatever.
Do you know, after this, True, I would like to, at some point, I would like to. I've spoke with David the barrister in America about this, and he was saying that we could do some like legislation, right? Mm-hmm. So he said, obviously YouTube is that big and it's in every country, right? So they won't do anything about, obviously, fake accounts, because it's in too many countries and different things. But I would definitely like to get something going where we get signatures to I don't know. So say you've got to show your passport and show whatever, and maybe it's like even facial ID or whatever. Do you know what I mean? If you've been accused of by by someone to YouTube, a complaint's been made against you, well, then you have to show YouTube your login details, and to log in from then on, you've got to have your Face ID or something. But
I know.
nobody else can see it but YouTube, if you like. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, YouTuber, they're quite slow sometimes at reacting to comment reports and stuff. But I do know that on the impersonation thing, they act quite swiftly on that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You know, they tend to take that serious and they act very swiftly on it. So, yeah, I think you're right though. That's a good idea about getting. I mean, just to have, I'm sure they're aware of, you know, the problems that the current policies are causing people, but it's keeping everybody happy sort of thing, isn't it? They've got so many countries have got different laws, and you know, it's one of them.
Yeah, and what we found with last investigations that police, Carol and I had a lot of fake accounts which were directly answering to the people who were real, right? So, but it was the same accounts all over Facebook and all over YouTube. And what one of the policemen said to me and Carol was, we have very limited access to any of this, and it's really hard for us to get access to it. Even maybe the legislation where it's easy for police to gain access.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
I mean, but the online safety bill, which is going through Parliament at the minute, is due to pass at any time, any day now, I think. Is going to ease up a lot of that for the police. I think what you just said there, but there's also this stalking thing going through Parliament as well. So that'll probably be will include online activity as well. So we're slowly getting there in that respect. But I know what you mean. You know, it doesn't seem to be happening quick enough, and it needs to. I mean, I know Carol just made a comment about Camera tried it once before and never got enough signatures, sadly. And she's right. I remember seeing that. That was actually quite shit because he only got about 100 odd signatures or something.
The likes of you can do a video and it gets defamated. Irish Bull did a video the other day. Somebody was streaming it live, his live. And it's like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? And then obviously our videos are being defamated, and then I do believe that a lot of our videos have had the said trolls in there wanting to get reactions from Brian, and I believe that some of the attacks to the home, when they were happening on the live, it was to get reactions from Brian, knowing how he was going to react. Do you know what I mean? But at least he didn't hide his actions behind screens or behind fake accounts. He said it as it was, and I'm not being awful, but people who are getting the homes attacked like that and different things, I think it was like that solicitor said, Barrister David, it was a heat of the moment thing, and explosions just happened at your home, but the next thing you're getting arrested and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like crazy. Insanity.
I know. Yeah, but he is open. We can maybe move forward with something, and you know, maybe make a change somewhere. But yeah, right, okay. But listen, I think I'm going to wrap this up now, Dal, if you don't mind.
Right, that sounds, because I've finished anyway. I think somebody's at the door as well.
Yeah, I'm going to get something to eat, and then if Bill's live, I'll maybe jump on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'll speak to you just on the line.
All right, I just want to thank everybody in the chat as well. Everybody who's listened to that, and I'll catch you all later, guys. And
all right.
yeah,
see you soon. Bye.
All right, bye.